everyone, it's Lizzie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I am transitioning from a cash budgeting method to a cashless method. I've gotten a lot of messages being concerned with everything going on in the world and just for like my safety and everything, which I appreciate each one of you. So I figured I'd go ahead and start the process of going cashless. Now, I will be pulling out cash for specific envelopes that are my sinking funds, and that is it. But the regularly used envelopes that I had used, I will now be transitioning that over to cashless. If you guys are interested to see how I am switching that up, it is completely new for me. I have never done this before. Then keep on watching. Before we get into the cashless method, we first have to create our paycheck budget. So I always like to break down my budget paycheck to paycheck. So let me go ahead and just dive into this. I'm not going to get into too much detail on the breakdown of this just for time's sake, but you guys can follow along, ask me any questions that you may have, and let's get into it. So let's begin with our starting balance. And being that we just did a budget a few days ago at the end of March, I'm going to go ahead and just plug in what my available balance is thus far. And then the paycheck amount that we are budgeting is $1,136.90. So adding these two up together, let me get my calculator. Total income is $1,272.56. So now is when I work in my 80 and 20 method. So 80%, we take our total income, the $1,272.56, and we multiply that by 0.8, and that gives us what 80% is. Now from the 20%, I like to make sure that I am accounting for tithing, and then the rest of it to be towards saving or paying off debt. From this paycheck amount, I already know that it's $113.69. So I like to round up, and we're gonna do $114 for the tithe. So that is from this number right here. So now we're gonna go ahead and figure out what is the difference that we know that we can save for. So that's $140.51. So now I know what my numbers are. I'm going to go ahead and just set this aside. So moving on to the expenses portion, I love to use this bill tracker. It just makes things a lot easier for me to break down my expenses. So I'm going to go ahead and just write in everything that is listed down here, and I'll leave it side by side so that way you guys can see and follow along. Okay, so I went ahead and I just wrote in everything that was on my bill tracker. And now we can go ahead and continue on with the variable expenses. We are budgeting out for gas, and I'm just carrying over what I had budgeted for in the last paycheck. So if you hadn't seen that yet, I encourage you to go ahead and check out my last video so that way you can see where my budget stood the last day of March. Okay, so now let's go ahead and just add up all of our expenses here so we can get our total. $692.18 is the total expenses. And now let's figure out what we have remaining. So we're gonna take the total income, subtract the giving, and then subtract this total expense section. So the remaining balance is $466.38. So I have this section labeled cash envelopes, and this is really my sinking funds that I withdraw cash for. However, we're doing things a bit differently. So I am not gonna change what that says there as cash envelopes, because eventually I will go back to the cash method, probably. We'll see how this goes. But I already listed here groceries. We budget out $75 each week. And now let me go ahead and write in the remaining sinking funds. And we have switched up a few things. And that's just because I hadn't really planned for holidays that are coming up. Guys, I failed in that. And that's where you look ahead and you see when things are coming up. And Mother's Day is coming up, Father's Day, and I really want to save for like different holidays and our anniversary, and I don't want this to change what my goal was and what our goal was. So I take back what I had said of not withdrawing for Christmas and those things. We're gonna tweak what the amount is, but I still think it's important to include that in your budget if you can. That's something that's new, and you'll see that right here. So let me go ahead and just write in what the amounts are, and then I will explain in just a minute. Okay, so I plugged in all of my numbers for the sinking funds and the cash envelopes that I have that we're budgeting for. And now let's just find out what the total is for this section. This section is $265 that is budgeted for. So let's see where that stands with this 80% that we had figured out. So 80%, that's how much you should be living off of as recommended by me. So let's see where we are with staying within that amount or possibly being a little less. So we're gonna take that total and we're gonna subtract this $692, and then we're gonna subtract that $265. So we're $60 under, which is great to be. We would have been able to save a little bit more, but because I realized like we haven't had any savings for Mother's Day and Father's Day and those other things, so we had to include that in the budget. So that's where tweaking your budget is perfectly fine to do. Sometimes you will have to do that, and it's totally okay, but just make the adjustments, see where you can take the money from to put it into that category, and then you'll be fine. So here's where things are going to be a little bit different. And because we're switching from a cash method to a cashless method, all of these categories, I would have withdrawn each of these and stuffed them in a cash envelope. Right now, we are only pulling cash for just a few of these, which are the sinking funds, those upcoming holidays, those upcoming events, and different things that we are saving for. So that is anniversary, car maintenance, Christmas, Father's Day, and Mother's Day. So those are the cash envelopes that we are actually going to be stuffing. So what we need is one $20 bill, 20, 30, 20, a 10, and a 20. So we need 4 20s and 2 10s. So let's see what we have remaining here so that we know how much we're going to be saving for, because that's the main goal in our household right now, is just to build our savings account. So we're taking this amount up here and we're going to subtract the 265. So the amount that's remaining is 201.38. So I'm just going to take that number and apply it right down here, so that leaves us with a zero-based budget, which is where you want to be. So now let's figure out what I have to do with my cash envelopes. So I'll be right back with my cash envelopes and show you what I am doing. So I have my wallet. Let's take a look and see what we have to deposit. So I'm literally gonna go and open this up, and we're gonna go through each of these envelopes and see how much is on the tracker, and that's how much I had deposited, just so you know, because I had already gone to the bank and taken care of all of this. So for the eating out, it says here we had put in $50 just recently. So that's $50 that we had to deposit. I deposited 50 from eating out. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see a little better. So 50, we are going to be depositing. Our grocery envelope, we had $13 in this envelope. So 13 from groceries. Our home, we didn't have anything. Medical, we had $50. Pet, we had 30. We didn't have anything in there. Toiletries, And then this one I am still just keeping, but I did add in $5 because that's the challenge, saving $5 every even day. So this is what I am depositing. We're gonna add up 50 plus 13 plus 50 plus 30. So $143 is the total from the cash envelopes that I am just gonna deposit into my bank account and use the cashless method. So now let me go ahead and show you guys the trackers that I am using so that way I could still make sure that I am within budget. So this is the first time I am doing this and I'm a little bit nervous, I have to be honest. I hope that I can use this and it does work for me, and who knows, maybe I will end up just sticking with it, but we will see. Based on what was in my envelopes, eating out, there was 50, so I just wrote in that the beginning balance was 50. This is something that I'm going to be doing that's new. I never kept a cash envelope for gas, but I figured since I'm going cashless, I'll just go ahead and write everything in this tracker. So I just put the gas tracker and what we had budgeted for, which was $130. So that's what's in my account right now. Grocery. Starting balance is what we had here, the $13. So I just put the beginning balance as the 13. Home, there wasn't anything for home. I did have some spending money. It was a gift. So I just have and I didn't include that in my budget because that was like separate, but I have $100 that's mine in our account. Medical, based on what we wrote down here, there's 50. So I just wrote in 50. Pet, we have $30. And then toiletries right now, there wasn't anything to start with. So now we are going to add in what we've budgeted for from this paycheck. Okay, so eating out, we didn't budget anything for that. Gas was that $130, so that's already accounted for in here. Grocery, we did budget $75, so I'm just gonna write in today's date, the budget, 75, there's 88 in our budget for groceries. Home, we have $10. So I'm gonna go ahead and just write that right up here at the top. That's our beginning balance for home. Let's see, spending, that is good. Medical, we're adding $50 to that. So we have $100 for medical, and we do have like co-pays and things. Some bills are going to be sent to us, so that will be good for us to have in our account. Pet, we're adding in $20. And then toiletries, beginning balance now is the $10. So this is going to be going now in my wallet. So I am really excited / a little nervous at how this is going to work for me. If you guys have been doing the cashless method for a long time, let me know any tips that you might have, but this is something that is very new to me. I'll show you guys my progress with it, how I am doing. But now we are gonna go ahead and stuff our sinking funds because we do have some cash that we are going to be stuffing in our cash envelopes for the sinking funds. So I'll get right to that in just a minute. All right, so I have my sinking funds envelopes here, and we're gonna go ahead and get to stuffing these cash envelopes. So the first one is our anniversary, and I have my little cash envelope trackers here, and we are adding $20. So I now have 68 in this envelope. I'll just put in the 20. Okay, that is good. Next is the car maintenance is getting 30. So let me get the 20 and the 10. That's good. Christmas is getting 20. Okay, then we have Father's Day and Mother's Day. So I don't have envelopes currently for that, but let me go ahead and get some. So I had these for a little bit. They're from the Budget Mom, and you can like color them in. But since these are the only other envelopes, I'm just gonna go ahead and use them for Father's Day and Mother's Day. So let me just label one of them, Father's Day. Father's Day. And so Father's Day, we are putting in $10. So I'll go ahead and I'll put that there. And then Mother's Day is getting 20. All right, so I have my cash envelopes already. Let me go ahead and just add in Father's Day and Mother's Day in here. And we are good with stuffing our cash envelopes. So let me know, guys, are you guys switching to the cashless method just temporarily? Are you planning on doing this full time? Have you always done the cashless method? Let me know in the comments. This is completely new to me. So if you have any tips for me on what is the best way to track this, then let me know, because this is so new and I hope that I do it well. But I will keep you all posted with my progress. Check me out on Instagram, follow me over there. I will be sharing probably more in depth on how this is affecting me and our spending and all of the things. So if you guys found this video helpful in any way, then definitely hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in a brand new video. Bye guys.